Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. Today, we are at Fuji. So we are. Welcome along. We're at Fuji. Let's get out. Qualifying has already started. Oh, hang on. I did not realize there was gonna be rain. Oh, it's a drizzle. Hang on. Oh yeah, track is high grip. I should probably get out. But welcome along. To the stream. It is round 4 of our Friday GT3 series, having taken a week off last week. Mid-series break. Of course, we did some GT4 racing that was good fun. Now we're back for hopefully some good racing action. Doing some practice, not really feeling comfortable in the car. Not struggling with the brakes as much, but not getting pace out of the car necessarily. But maybe the changeable conditions that we have here might help us. So we come up to start our first flying lap. Of course, trying to get temperature into the tires. Steering a little bit. Through the quick right-hander, not taking any chicane tonight, similar to the 3-hour race we did a couple of weeks ago. Track is damp. I think it is getting wetter. .16th with our first time on the board. We know we can go quicker than that though. Finding time on the brakes into T1, but not getting as good of an exit. That's frustrating to invalidate the lap. We'll let BMW go. Thankfully, the next car's here. Not quite as quick. Try and get the best exit we can. Oh, and the BMW's pitting. Typical. Couple of cars going into the pits. Not sure that's a great idea if the track is at risk of getting wetter. In damp conditions, it still should be good enough for dry tyres. Thankfully, those two cars just about stayed out of the way. Finding some time here in the middle sector. 4 attempts up now. Interesting line, try and make sure the car doesn't spin through the penultimate corner. Good exit of the final corner. Though we did lose some time in the mid corner. That bumps us up to 13th. Finding more time at T1 as we get more and more temperature into the tires. Losing the time that we gained through T1. Not running wide onto the curb on the entry to the penultimate corner. Fighting the car, bad exit out of the final corner. One more lap of fuel left. Ooh. Yeah, the car just stopped there under braking. So a bit of a front right lockup, then the rear just started rolling around as, again, sort of like casters. Rain has stopped, so that's... Take a bit of fuel out. Interesting that it said rain 0%, but you come out onto the track and it's raining. didn't see that there was 2 cars coming. I thought the rear end could be so lively on a front-engined car. We will get 2 flying laps here. This next one, though, probably won't be great with the tires still being quite cooled. That rain has now stopped. So the track is probably going to dry up a little bit here in the final few minutes. Behind it, stopped for a mere minute. Before returning. Now the best takes out of the final corner to start our final flying lap. Ooh, track is apparently at high grip now. Very wide of the apex there. Car gripped up there a little more than I was expecting to. With over a 1/10.5 up, can we hold it now through the final sector? Rain's stopped again. Not the best of exits, but it's going to be 8/10 up as we come to the line. Where will this put us? P12. 1.7 off. Okay, 1.7 off doesn't feel too bad. P12 is, of course, where we qualified for the first week at Portimine. We finished 4th that week. So, as we hit, I think everyone has finished qualifying now, so we'll be P12, which isn't too bad. I need to... Oh yeah, it's like a 20% chance of drizzle. So unlikely we will see the wet tires, but maybe we will. They'll just keep us guessing, keep us on our toes for the race if they get grips or flips and flops. But we wait for the start. Nice bit of time to relax before we get going here for the race. So, will we see rain? Maybe, maybe not. But it does seem that if we do see any, it will not be heavy enough to see a need for wet tires. P12 on the outside of the grid here. Mustang alongside us on the inside, BMW in front. Mustang behind.
Formation lap has started.
Here we go, ready for the start.
Green flag, green flag.
Good jump compared to the BMW in front. Both me and the Mustang went for the same space at the same time. 4 wide into T1 here. Bunching up in front, bit is side-by-side contact. We try and hold it around the outside. One car spun off there into the wall. We're side-by-side with the Mustang still. And we're now up to P10. But you can bet the Mustang is going to try and come back at us on the start-finish straight. Good straight line speed in that Mustang is we used to good effect on Monday at Sebring. BMW very wide. Trying to get to the inside here of the final corner, but it's not quite working out. Fry coming over to give us the slipstream. I think is just following the car in front of them, getting the slipstream wherever they go. Side by side into the braking zone for T1. BMW holds it around the outside. Just lost the rear end there. If I could hold on to it, but rust onto the grass. A little bit of front end damage, but nothing too significant. Place lost though. BMW runs wide, or Mustang, sorry, runs wide. Keeps the car under control though. Fighting the car through the final couple of corners. Much better run through the middle sector this lap. Bit of a three-way fight up ahead. If they slow each other down, we might be able to catch up. Too tight of an inside line. Too much curb. A lot of fighting going on in the pack in front. Seem to be quicker than the cars behind us, which is nice. But it's not looking like we quite have the pace of the cars in front. Though, of that little group of three that are fighting, we were slightly quicker. As the sun coming out here in Fuji. That was an eventful ride through turn 3. Ferrari seems to be finding a little bit of pace this lap. Gaining time on the Ferrari in the middle sector. But we are starting to lose out to the cars in front. Trying to be braver on the brakes into T1, braking later. Gains us a little bit of time. Got a little twitch from the cars. One of the wheels wanted to lock up. Not losing too much time for the cars in front, but we are definitely dropping back a little bit. BMW making another mistake there. Personal best, but losing time to some of the cars in front. Managed to not pick up any track limit points for that. Running wide at turn 3. Mustang, the one running wide this time. And they'll wide ourselves on the exit. Car behind closing in a little bit with the new personal best. They'll lock up into T1. We still had a good run through T1. Little wide there. Unfortunately, everything just sort of spacing out here around us. It's too quick there. And despite the shaky lap, car behind, Ferrari, hasn't gained on us at all. If anything, they've dropped back a little bit. Yeah, they've lost half a second, had their own shaky lap. This right-hander's starting to get a little more tricky as the tires wear out. The car just sliding a little more and more with each lap. Surprised that wasn't a track limit penalty. Maybe a bit of fighting starting to happen in front. A little bit of a weave from the pack down the straight. A new personal best from the Ferrari. He seems to be getting a little more confident as the race goes on. And the car gets lighter, as we're sort of struggling with the tire a little bit. So it looks like we're going to have a 37 lap race. That's a slide and a half, 3, 2, 1, or T3, sorry. Really struggling with this left-hander. The end of the lap. Just getting the field to roughly where it needs to be for later in the race. Front left tire overheating quite a bit. By 10 degrees at its peak there, above the optimal temperature for the GT3 tires. Mustang starting to put the BMW under pressure. And is looking for a move to the inside of T1. He's going to pull in front before the braking zone. And it's move done for the Mustang. Relatively easy, which is a bit disappointing for us. Means we don't really get to close in that much on the BMW. Bit of a slow lap from the BMW. We gained nearly a second on them. Another per lap for the BMW, gained in nearly another second, so about 1.8 seconds gained over the last two laps on the BMW. And the Mustang's on the back of the Ferrari already. So Mustang is definitely getting a move on. Not closing in on the BMW as much this lap, but I think we were still a little bit quicker. 2.5 attempts just over. So we might be able to catch the BMW. But it is certainly not certain nor a given. Mustang right on the tail end of the Ferrari 2, hasn't got past yet. We'll probably get past fairly soon. But if it could just cost the Ferrari a couple of seconds while the Mustang does pass. That would be quite nice. Ferrari behind also gained about half a second on us last lap. So they're not going anywhere either. And again, identical time to the Ferrari behind. Mustang still not past the Ferrari. That was not a good line. Having to fight the car quite a bit this lap. Lost a bit of time to the BMW in front. Quite a bit of time, 8/10 actually. And all that progress we made in the last few laps, pretty much undone. When they lost a tenth to the Ferrari behind, as Mustang still looking to pass the Ferrari in front of us. The understeer here. First track limits of the race, I'd say it was well worth it. Look at the Ferrari defending right to the pit wall from the Mustang. forcing them to the outside into T1. And the Ferrari has held on for another lap as we reach the 30-minute mark halfway. Attacking the apex curb there. Front tire sliding across the track into the final corner. Mustang lost a bit of time on the Ferrari this lap. It's very similar times between the Ferrari in front of us and the BMW. Little deep into T1. BMW had a snap there coming out of the final corner. We had a good second half to the lap and we closed in quite a bit. Again, look at the Ferrari Mustang fighting. I think the Mustang has got to the inside this lap. Gained nearly a second on the BMW. Mustang thankfully not getting between us and the BMW, but did compromise the BMW. And in front the Mustang is through on the Ferrari. Sort of me and the BMW switching which lines we take through the right-hander there. Car sliding around through the final sector and we drop back a bit. Still closed up a little bit. BMW seems to be struggling a bit here. Has been a bit wide the last couple of corners. Locking the front right there for longer than I would have liked. Evening, Giggy. So we start on the BMW this lap, could be getting a little bit of a slipstream. 8 laps until we pit. Ooh, I nearly didn't get that slowed down. BMW wide there onto the grass, has lost quite a bit of time. Wide again here. BMW getting a much better exit than we did. You can see both of us having rough laps of Ferrari closing in. Oh, BMW had a big slide coming out of the final corner there. That's going to allow us to sneak through. But one thing to note, look at the BMW, 4% more virtual energy than we do. That's going to make a difference in the pit stop. Ferrari's definitely closed up a little bit more. even got an option to repair damage wide for the BMW behind. That could just give us a nice bit of breathing space, as long as we have a good final sector here. Which we have done. One of the Aston Martins in front, into the pits. Haven't seen any rain this race so far. Remember, there is a 20% chance of a drizzle starting. BMW all over the curb on the exit. Ferrari in front pitting. Quite a few people pitting in early. BMW is definitely stronger than we are in the middle sector. But we make the time back up in the final sector. That's a bit risky. Right, that should be the pit stop sorted for when we run out of fuel in 3 laps time. very bad line through the second of the two right-handers there. That's really where I lost a lot of time. Okay, running wide over the grass didn't help. But I didn't lose too much time from that. Slide the BMW to close back in. The Ferrari has dropped back a bit again. Remember, we need this gap because there's likely... cars behind can likely take a shorter pit stop than us. With the virtual energy advantage that they have. So they will probably be able to go one, if not two more laps than us. I need to dial it back in through that right-hander. Rear end, please. Right, one more lap. We need a good in lap here. Still somehow quicker than the BMW last lap despite the mistakes. So also give a good opportunity to the front left tire to cool down. Actually made the corner this time. Mustang's off. Mustang's holding up the BMW. Now we come into the pits. Looks like the BMW is following us. But the Mustang did not, despite their spin. Yeah, the BMW jumped us from just not having to put as much virtual energy in. So it needed that gap. "10 minutes remain." Right, can we close up here in the final sector? Closed up a lot in that right-hander. BMW got a slightly better exit than us. We're definitely closer now than we were at pit exit. BMW wide through T1, and that Mustang has jumped us in the pits. Deep into the left-hander there. Fry's lost time compared to us. They put an extra lap of energy in. And it certainly dropped them out of this fight. I'll scoot through this right-hander as we were last lap. Just waiting for the front end to respond. Thing is saying it might be 38 laps now. I mean, if it does, all three of us are going to be in a bit of trouble. And the Fry behind us will have been a genius. BMW's catching up to the Mustang, which is probably carrying some damage. Not been able to keep up with BMW since pit stop. Five minutes left to go. There's going to be an A's going to go to a 38th lap. just done the math in my head, unless the leader slows down. I'm pretty sure this is going 1 lap longer than we've all fueled up for. There's gonna be 4 laps from now. So leaders already crossed the line. Start lap 36. They'll cross the line again to start lap 37. Actually, I think it'll be 2 laps to go from here. I don't know, I'm really struggling with this math. Yeah, because now next time the leader crosses the line, it'll be final lap. Yeah, so it will be 1 lap at the end of this lap. That leader is going on to start now. We would have been like a second closer to BMW in front had we not done fuel saving there unnecessarily. But I don't think it would have made much of a difference. Time runs out. So it looks like it's going to be P9 for the second week in a row. We finished P4 for 2 weeks in a row. Now we're finishing, well, let's not say 2 weeks, isn't quite. There wasn't a race last week. 2 rounds in a row. Yeah, so first 2 rounds. BMW ran out of fuel, and the other one's going to help them. So it will be P7. We have 1% to spare, but we did save a bit. P7 there in the end. No rain did eventually come. Yeah, they finished 9th and 10th. Bit more of an interesting end to that race. Was very stale in the first half after the start. I mean, 4 wide into T1 is interesting for sure. But yeah, then really quieting down until the second half where it started closing in. If we did make those sort of couple of mistakes, like a few laps before we pitted, we would have had an extra second on the BMW. And yeah, they would have closed in with the pit stop. I think we would have been just in front. Like, we would have been like side by side maybe. Yeah, I think the Ford still would have jumped us. Yeah, and I think we would have been able to have held on in front of the BMW. Wouldn't have been easy, but I think we could have. Oh. So, as always, we're going to finish off with a bit of Art of Rally. We are going to run the weekly event as well this week. There we go. Yeah. Watch back the start. But then once we settled down in, like, I can't remember what position was exactly, but behind the Mustang, you didn't miss anything after that. Right, daily event. We haven't done this for the last few days. Last did it on Monday, where you got 64th. Bit of a poor run. Not as good as the 24th we got on Sunday. Let's see. Hope we can turn it around again. Group 3 this tonight at Norway. 4.4 kilometers on the snow. Let's see. I will fare. Very stable car, it seems. fog particularly bad in this direction. There's the finish appearing from the wideout. 19th so far, top 5%. Good run there, felt clean. Maybe could have been a little bit quicker in a couple of places, but the main thing is that it was clean. So we'll move on to the weekly event now. Let's see, last week we got 126th, didn't go too well. Previous week, 42nd, 24th, top 3%, that's really good. Let's see if we can get near that again. We are in a Group A car at Sardinia this week, starting off with a 10.9 kilometer stage on the gravel. We have... I want to say it's a Delta. A little bit wide there. Making sure not to hit the fence on the inside. It is very much solid, even if it doesn't look it. Running wide there is just on a horrible line. The car a bit twitchy. Making it difficult to get back into the line and position it where I want to exactly. Again, running a little wide there. I don't expect the result to be amazing. Based on how this first stage is going. That wasn't bad for the score, right? Carried good speed in, didn't get the apex, but got good traction out of the corner. There's finish 332.8 for the first stage. 33rd, that's not too bad. Top 5%. Let's see, 5.9 kilometer stage here. So nearly half the length, or just over half the length of the first stage. Got a little tarmac section here. Goes through this town. Very difficult right-hander here as it tightens up there. Very difficult to see where it tightens up because of all the houses. These are the corners you've got to be careful with because you really want to cut them. They're really inviting to just cut across. But if you cut them too much, of course, the game will reset you and give you a 5-second penalty. For the inconvenience. There's the finish, 234.7. Felt like a decent stage, up to 24th. Top 4%. This is going better than I thought we'd with how the first stage started. Into the third stage now, even shorter, 4.1 kilometers. Get to clean the car, as don't have any other repairs to make. And into the penultimate stage now. Car getting a little bit twitchy immediately. Using the elevation to our advantage at the start of this stage. Taking some cuts that we're getting away with. Nearly hit the hay bale there, 126.1. Quick stage up to 23rd. Can we make any impressions on the final stage? 7.6 kilometers, however, it is in the rain. Key thing's not going to be keeping it on the road, not going off. with the reduced grip. Built a lot of confidence and of what to expect from this car in the dry. But in these wet conditions, we've got to readjust. As if we don't, we'll just fly off the stage. In a very inconvenient manner. Getting away with those slight cuts. There is the finish. 225.3 for the final stage. And that leaves us 22nd, up another place. And that is where we'll finish. Top 4%, very happy with that. That is a good result. And there isn't too long to go in that weekly event. Just another 27 and a half hours. So just over 1 day. But yeah, that was a good run. That was fun. I really enjoyed that car. Very well balanced, very nice throw around, quite quick to, yeah, lovely way to, nice way to end stream. Yeah, what was an alright race. Not that interesting, at least it got a little bit interesting. At least we weren't quite in no man's land. We did have cars, a Ferrari that kept us honest all race, and the BMW that was just tantalizing in front of us, so we were trying to sort of keep close to and hunt down if possible. Got it once, but unfortunately the sort of pit strategy did not go in our favour, and although at the end we did get the cars and another BMW as it ran out of fuel. That's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow about 6:30 UK time for some GT1 racing on the original South course. We've got a street circuit, a short street circuit. That'll be very interesting. 2 hours. Yeah, very curious to see how that race goes tomorrow. Then on Sunday, we've got our first hypercar race in LMU. 100-minute race, start of an 8-week series, much like what we have on Mondays as well now. That will be, yeah, hypercars at Portimao. Interesting strategy. No, it'll be 1 pit stop in the middle of the race with some fuel saving. What tyres we change? I don't know yet. We'll have to see. But yeah, that should be an interesting race. And then on Monday, we're back for our Monday GT3 Series second round, which is back here at Fuji Classic with its chicane in the Mustang, of course. So we'll have to see. Hopefully, we can do a bit better than we did last week. It was a disappointing way to start that series earlier this week at Sebring. So yeah, hopefully we can have a cleaner round, especially now having sort of had a bit of practice in the Aston Martin. Yeah, hopefully we can do well there. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's stream. Thank you, Geefky, for popping in. Thank you to everyone else that was lurking around in chat or watching the VOD back. Hopefully you'll have a good rest of your evening. And until next time, take care. And thanks for watching, and I will see you then. Till then, bye bye.